Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Santa Bob McMasters, and welcome to the Bob Randall and Company live preview show for Monday. This is episode 3, season 2, February 20th, 2023. Everyone, please say hello to the wonderful, illustrious Mr. Randall Santa Checker Lee.
Hello, everybody. Good to see everyone. Welcome. Hi, Bob. How are you? You're looking great as ever. Love the hat.
Well,
Love
I
the hat.
wearing a hat today. You always wear a hat on Monday show. I thought, what the heck?
Yeah,
I'll throw a hat on today, pull my hair back, and go casual Monday, right?
casual Monday. Sounds good to
Yep.
me. Every day should be casual when you're retired, you know?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Exactly. I hear you, man. Hey, the weather up here, well, I say up here, down here in Texas from where you are, today is spring-like, partly cloudy, mid 70s, going up towards 80 for a high. But don't let that fool you because we have a couple of systems coming. One that's going to come through the Midwest and head your way, Randy. And then the following, that's towards the end of February. And the first couple of weeks of March is going to be pretty interesting, also, even for the deep south. So everyone keep their hats on tight because the wind's going to get strong, and don't tell them what might happen here coming up in the next 3.5 weeks.
when Mother Nature does what she wants, you can't fight against Mother Nature. Just the way it is. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mentioned last week, I think, that I found this forecaster. He's been on Facebook exactly Facebook, excuse me, YouTube exactly 1 year. He really goes into a lot of depth and with his maps and everything, and shows a lot more than what your local weather. They're limited to time, so they can't get into the depth. But he does about a 15-minute update every day, and he goes out as far as 3 4 weeks ahead with some of his mapping and forecasting, and that's where I got that information from. We'll see if it comes true. He's been pretty accurate since I've been watching him, so we will see. But they're calling for snow and ice storm through the Midwest up towards Michigan, and then the first week and a half or 2 weeks of March getting even coming even further south. A lot of polar air locked up north that's going to spill down. So winter's not over, folks.
Not by a long shot. Yeah, we've got a system coming in on Wednesday. They're talking freezing rain and ice and snow this Wednesday, and Friday's going down into the teens and 20s, and so yeah, so we've had snow until Mother's Day up here sometimes, and ice, and that's the first week in May. So we don't get too I don't get too hopeful for spring yet this time of year. I want it, but I don't get too hopeful for it yet this time of year.
Same way. And I can remember back when I was still racing dirt cars, we were set to start our season in April, and we had a big snowstorm the night before, and it got canceled. Wasn't a lot. I mean, a couple inches here in this region is a lot for us. It's not like we get buried with anything. But anyway, you ready to move along and let's do some something burger?
Sounds great to me.
All righty. All right, as usual, this is our hot topic segment. We have two topics as we have had in the past. Today, we're going to let Randy go ahead and go first as always. Randy, go ahead and take that first question, and let's see if we can get the folks that are watching to participate by putting in some answers, their thoughts, or if they want to add something to that. Floor is yours, brother.
Yeah, I'd love to have, of course, always we love to have interaction from our guests watching, everybody out there. But this is the question for today that I brought up. Um, how will your 2023 holiday season compare to the 2022? How will it compare? Will it be busier? Will it be slower? And can you maybe type in why? Are you adding something or doing something special this year? But have you had thoughts about how you can make your 2023 season busier than 2022?
Absolutely, and the question that I'll follow up with after this one is kind of a play off of what Randy asked, and I'll take it to kind of a different level, but we'll get to that one in a moment. Go ahead and drop in your answers there if you want to participate. Tell us what you think. How will your season be different this year? What are your plans? Tell us why, Do you have things you expect to increase your schooling, your new suits, costuming, or even increase in pay? That's another good one.
Always nothing wrong with adding a little bit of dollars onto your hourly rate. If you haven't done that for a while, um, you know what you're worth, especially if you add something that you've learned. You've added storytelling, you've added some magic, you've added whatever you might have added that you can promote yourself doing, or whatever. Just you can just add a little bit of add a few dollars, and if that's what it is. Um, but there's so many ways that you can increase your season if of course if you want to. Some people are busy, busy, busy as can be anyway.
Yeah,
But
true.
um, learn a lot of
Ben
brand.
brings up a good point. There's an extra weekend, so he expects to be busier and hoping to really improve his storytelling. Storytelling is a great way to improve. It's something that does take a little bit of preparation, a little bit of practice. Get that story down where it's fluid, comes off the tongue really smooth, believable. Inflection in your voice, which I don't do real well with myself. Something that I struggle with. But those are things that you should think about. Santa Mel says 2023 looks to be much more busy because at the advertising seeds that she elated the last two, I believe it's supposed to be years there. Again, Ben says two new suits. That's fantastic. That's a cost that a lot of guys can't go out and do their first couple of years, and being in his second full swing as professional, that's a great upgrade for you, Ben.
Yeah, it's a great thing to be able to offer then different things, especially like this year. I would like to increase myself by doing some more photography stuff, and I think being able to offer those different suits, like you're going to do, Ben, and a few other Santas could do, you can really give a nice variety of photos, opportunities for your photographers. So that's how I want to increase my 2023 season. Besides the other problem last year, but that's another story altogether. So but I think that's where my focus is going to be is on that. So I'm looking for a great season. I hope. But he's got
You know,
such
you
great ideas, man.
talk about doing more photography work. That's something that I'm wanting to do more of myself. Trying to get the photographers to start a little bit earlier and stretch it out. You mentioned the different looks that you can give photographers. I had one that I worked with this last season. She just strictly wanted my parade coat and a red vest. That's She didn't want me. I went in the second day I worked for her. I had a different outfit on, and "Where's your outfit that you had on?" Well, I thought I'd bring something different to the table, and she wasn't too happy with that. So luckily, I had brought my other stuff with me, and I was able to go down to the car and get it.
What's great is, I mean,
Let's
you can offer the different varieties, and you show them a picture. This is what this is, and let your photographer decide what you want to do that she feels comfortable or he feels comfortable. Excuse me, about their vision of the photos. So I think it will increase. That at least that's what I'm hoping. And there's so many great ideas we've got going and on here. I know Nathan said some good stuff, and so is Kimmy. And
Well, go ahead and read what Rex had. I think he was the next in line there, or maybe
yeah,
AJ. Uh,
mine will be a little busier because I will be additional. He's photographer. Ben Rex is going to do a few more photographer ones. He said he's still negotiating with a few, and of course, it would be great if we could get photographers like Bob said to do September, October. And what gets me is some don't understand that when you do it then, the photos are done for the holiday season. That's what's great.
It takes longer to get them if you're going to use them for Christmas cards, which a lot of families do. Get those photos done early. Get them, edited. Most of the photographers are doing, all types of editing work after the sessions. Get those to the families. Let the families take that opportunity to get the Christmas card, designed, get the picture they want, get those sent off, and then, hey, mail is taking longer to run nowadays too. So used to that you could get something in the mail, around Christmas time and have it there within, 5 to 7 days. Sometimes takes 2 weeks or better now.
I mean,
So you've always got to be prepared for that.
I know some families that actually use their Santa pictures or for their children to give to their grandparents as a gift. So you definitely
Yeah.
want to make sure that gets done ahead of time.
Yeah.
When you found Al stuff, increasingly improving my social.
That's the AI you and I were talking
AI.
about in the green room.
I got it.
Artificial intelligence.
Wow.
Did you mention Nathan's comment there?
Uh, More story
Or
development this year he's going to be doing. He's going to adding several schools, and schools incredible because there's schools you do them during the week. They are fantastic if you can focus on that because you are performing not on your prime dates. Um, and a photo session earlier than the year, of course, had a request for late summer, early fall. Wow, Nathan, that'd be fantastic if you
yep.
you get a late summer, early fall. I mean, there is more and more. I think Christmas in July going on too. At least last year there was a upswing I saw. Um, but maybe we can keep the momentum going from July right into August, September to get the photos done. But definitely
Kimmy
very
says that
interesting.
they will be doing more vendor events, bringing the North Pole Workshop to the community markets. That's another great point. Gary Linder says increased my rates last year. Plan on keeping them the same for 2023. Can't be much busier than last year. That's the thing. If you get too busy, you can always go up on your rates a little bit. That will deter adding new people on, and that way you can still focus on the folks that uh, that you've served in past years, and keep those folks uh, in the loop with you. Uh, Nothing wrong with increasing your rates, especially if you get super busy. That's one way to kind of, like I say, back it down just a bit, and
We
that
all
way you
know
don't
the
have a lot of
time.
people coming in. You can focus on the ones you have.
We all know the time and the effort and the expense that we put into our character and our performance. So we're worth it, to just to ask that little extra money. We It's not cheap to be a Santa or a Mrs. Claus. It's
No,
an investment. A lot of people don't know that, and it's always fun to talk to, and I call them lay people. Like when it's like in the magic world, they're called lay people that don't do magic, to explain to them about how different that is in the Santa world and how much there is involved. You tell me do a weekly Santa show in January, February, March. They don't understand it till you really talk them through how much really is involved in this business. In part it's part of the entertainment business. So we put a lot into it. So the rates are well worth. You're worth it.
Nathan has a good point. Playing off of what you said earlier about giving your photographers a chance to pick the suits that you wear, and that is a great point. If you have a chance before you start your sessions with those folks, week or two ahead of time, reach out, as Randy said, send them some photos of what you have. Let them choose. That way they're happy, and you don't show up and get that face I got from the one that I was working with. Like, where's the outfit you had on last week? Again, Ben says he's increasing and improving his social media through the AI stuff that he's working with, and that he also is looking at scaling down his service area. Another great point, Ben. As you grow your business, and you choose those that are closest to you. That way you can put more in. Let's say you start getting out too far outside the service area. That's a lot of driving, a lot of mileage, a lot of time spent getting from A to B to C to D.
And we don't make any money getting from A, B, C. We don't make any money, and especially in Benstow and northern area. Of course, us in the northern area, we have travel time problems with the weather and everything else at most.
Oh
So
yeah.
in a northern area, or so yeah. So if you can keep, like Ben says, in your local area, that will increase your business this year and many years to come.
That's for sure. All
Great.
right, looks like the comments have quit coming in there. Anything else on that,
Fantastic.
Randy?
Fantastic list of comments. I mean, really some great ideas, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great, great points. All right, so let's move on to the next one here. How early in the year would you consider accepting a certain job that would be new to you for the upcoming season, be it a big corporate gig or chair job for a big box store or a mall? What factors would be involved in making that decision to lock yourself in so early in the season? That's what I'm talking about. Is if a corporation or a big box store reached out to you right now, this being mid-February, would you consider going ahead and locking yourself in for a long term? I want to say long term, more than a couple of weeks, or 2 or 3 weekends, but something that was a substantial contract. Would you be willing to go ahead and lock yourself in this early, or is it something that you prefer waiting and see what comes along later on? Sometimes if you wait, you lose that first opportunity. Sometimes if you take that first opportunity, then you miss out on something great that comes along later. That's the dilemma I'm talking about. What's your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you my thoughts. My thoughts are I like to fill my season up. I have for years. I like to fill my season up. Um, and if I make that wrong decision because I took a corporate date and I said 250 or whatever it might be, and something comes along for 500, that's just the way it goes. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to, at least I know I'm booked, because waiting till the last minute is, boy, it's no fun waiting going, am I going to be booked? I can't believe I have that date still available. I personally like to know in August, September, that I'm full from whatever, the first week in November till Christmas. I like to fill it in. I mean, that's me. So you can't regret your decision. That, I guess, I learned that years ago in doing the magic and everything. I can't regret my decision. If I was happy enough to take that event at that time and I signed the contract, okay, I'm glad doing the show for this time and this money. I should still be happy with it later. So that's what you've got to be okay with.
Yeah, and the reason I brought this particular question to everyone today is I saw last season several Santas that had taken jobs and then tried to back out on them because something better came along. That's a mistake that a lot of the newer guys coming into the industry make. You definitely don't want to burn any bridges, number one. Number two, again, once you sign that contract, you're pretty much locked in. And if the party on the other end wants to pursue damages, they can. And so that's a dilemma that you put yourself in. And again, as Randy says, take the sure thing. You don't know what may come along later on, and I have had the same thing happen to me, Randy, where I signed, signed up
Yeah.
for a certain date or a certain weekend, and then get an email, 2 or 3 weeks, a month later, with something that would have been a better choice at the time, but that wasn't in front of me when I made my decision. So you
Hmm.
go with what you do because again, you're locked in. You signed that contract, and you need to be a man of your word, a Santa of your word.
Yeah, you have to. And like I said, at that moment when somebody came to you and said, "Hey, look, would you do an event for 1 hour for 250, whatever it might be?" You said, "Yeah, that sounds great," and you signed a contract. So you thought it was fine, and you agreed with it. Just to come back because somebody offers you got 2 hours for 500. It's really not good business either. It really isn't. That's like you
Oh,
said, Bob. You don't want to burn the bridges, especially if it's an agency or a client, a personal client. Yeah, you've got to keep that integrity going.
Gordon Bailey put it best to me years ago. How much is enough? Know your worth, know what the market dictates, but how much is enough? And that's a personal decision that you and only you can make.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ben says as soon as it becomes available, a bird in the hand. Absolutely, Ben. Great point. Rex, I let all my potential clients that they must contact me in January, February, or March at the latest. Very good point, Rex. As always, get your return customers. Let them know that you book up early. Let them know that to absolutely get you for the date they want and to ensure that you're not going to book with someone new or a newer gig that comes along, to reach out January, February, and March and lock themselves in at that time. Nathan says, first come, first served. We cannot disappoint families and children because we think the grass is greener. That great point. Great point, Nathan.
Definitely, yeah, yeah, and yeah, definitely what Rick says. Get a hold of your regular clientele on a regular basis and let them know that when um, and they know if you're doing a country club, you're doing a corporate event, they know what weekends are there for next year already. They do. So the only time I see it becoming something I regret is an opportunity.
Go ahead and read it. Well, everybody can see it,
Yeah,
but the only time I see it being something I regret is if it's an opportunity moment because I'm being paid. I may regret not being able to be on that TV show, that parade, or the helicopter rifle that. And Gary said I commented earlier. Did I miss Gary's comment on that? Or is that from the first question?
Didn't see a comment.
I'm not sure we have so many comments coming in so fast here.
Yeah, it's great. And I'm not sure Gary. I know Gary said something earlier about what my thing
Maybe
about
it's not
2020.
early. I don't.
Oh, maybe that's supposed to be commit early. Okay.
Oh,
All right, Gary. We got you. All right, Randy. Anything else you want to add to that before we
yeah,
move
no, I
along?
think I great again. Thank you guys. That's what's so wonderful with everybody coming in and giving their not opinions. We're talking smarts. You know,
2 cents worth.
it's great. Thank you guys. Yeah,
Uh,
it
and,
helps
and
everybody.
again, being here live has its advantages to this, this part of it where you can interact. Not that you can't go back later on in the replays if you watch them and add comments in, you can, but you don't get that interaction back and forth with us and talking about these certain things like this. Thank you guys so much. Everyone has great input there. That's why we started that segment. Randy had a vision there, and we ran with it, and we're happy that we're able to bring it to you week in and week out. All right, guys, let's see here. Let's go ahead and move along, Angela, and
Okay, true.
do our trivia.
Hey everyone, Elf Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live. The show about nothing. Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by Santa's Closet. Santa's Closet has been delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since 2004. Santa's Closet's main goal is to provide both a superior customer experience with tremendous value for their customers. Santa's Closet brings more than 400 separate products to the Claus community at a reasonable price. Santa's Closet is under new ownership. Let's welcome Santa Wade and Scarlett Kaufman of Tennessee, whom will continue the tradition of bringing you products of unparalleled quality and design. Don't forget to visit their sites at santascloset.org and support their efforts of bringing quality products to the community. This is Angela Mack reminding you to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
That's right. Santa'sCloset.org has new owners. Santa Wade and Scarlett Coppin of Smyrna, Tennessee, recently purchased that business and getting into full swing here. Want to mention that there is a 10% off discount at checkout on your entire order through the end of this month. That's February, through the end of February. So if you're looking to buy some giveaways, which Santa's Closet has always had great giveaways, reach out, grab you a whole bunch of that stuff, and save 10% at the same time. All right, Randy, you want to catch this trivia question here? This is I put this in for you, man.
Yeah, boy, this kind of scared me when I saw the answer. It's like, oh my goodness, I wasn't. Thank goodness I wasn't. I won't give that much away. This is a unique question, but Bob found this. What is the coldest temperature, the date and the year that occurred in Michigan? What is the coldest temperature that occurred in Michigan? We need the temperature, the date, and the year that it occurred. Man, it just makes me cold thinking about it. It really does. It gives me the chills just thinking about that. But we
Yeah.
sure felt this cold last week here with that wind blister, and it felt that cold. But over the weekend wasn't bad. We did have some sun. I was one of my shows was half outside. My back was in, but my body and the audience they were outside. So I had to make a quick half-hour show because people were standing outside. Thank goodness it was sunny, but. That was Sunday at a wonderful Mardi Gras party down at the riverfront. It was a lot of fun.
Sometimes the elements dictate
Yes,
how
it
and when
does.
and how long sometimes. So this is, of course, going back, this is coldest recorded temperatures, of course, because modern man didn't start, keeping records until, 150 years or so ago. But the coldest recorded temperature in Michigan And the answer may surprise you, as it did Randy, him being from the region. I think he was taken back by it a little bit. So get your answers in there. We'll come back to that when we get down here to the
Again, we need all the
answer
answers,
and
of
the
course, the date,
prize winner for today.
and we need all the dates.
And
The dates.
so at this point, I'm sorry, Randy, go ahead.
I apologize. I just want to make sure they get everything on there, all the things, the date, the temperature, the year, everything. I apologize.
That's right. Need the temperature, the date, and the year it occurred. Please give us all that to get the prize. All right, let's go ahead and do the backside of this, and we'll be right back. All right, this segment is the Elf and Chatterbox news. This just into the studios, hot off the wires. Spangle has been out on the road with his 40-foot mobile stuffforsanta.com store. He was in Alabama yesterday for the Santa True Christmas Performer workshop that Jamie Dozier put together with the Alabama Cotton State Santas. They had a great turnout, and uh, Spank's going to be out on the road now for several weeks. He's coming to, of course, to my Garland class that will be coming up March 11th and 12th. That class is a go now. We do have enough to go ahead and go forward with it. And just want to remind everyone that just because you may not be attending the school, Spankle's trailer is open. Be open Saturday and Sunday, and he may even open up on Friday night. I'm not real sure, but if you can't make it on Saturday or Sunday to come out and shop his trailer, just reach out to him. He'll walk outside the hotel, open the door up, and let you go in and browse and shop and take advantage of some of the good deals that he has. And his trailer's loaded down because he is going to be out on the road for several weeks. He's going to the Lone Star Santa Roundup in a few weeks after the weekend after the Sat Bob's class. So get out and do some shopping with him. So that was one of the things we wanted to talk about. The other thing is with the School of Santas and Spangle, if you attend my Sat Bob, Santa and the Business of Being Santa 2-day 10th annual Garland, Texas class, March 11th and 12th, you will be eligible to have $100 off your tuition for the School of Santas in July. Fantastic offer there that he threw out. Love the idea of his school and our school working together as they have for years now. That is School of Santa's 2 weekends to choose from, July 13th through the 16th and July 20th through 23rd. If you're not signed up, reach out to Tanya Lay and get signed up. If you want to come to the Sat Bob's class that I'm holding in Garland, Texas, reach out to me and we'll get you registered for that. And so let's go on to the next segment, Randy, and I'm going to let you take over from here, previewing the Tuesday Night Live upcoming guests. You know more about two of our future guests, and I'm going to have you kind of talk about those folks. But take it from there.
Fantastic. Well, tomorrow night is February 21st. Jessica Rosa will be here tomorrow night. Fantastic. She's doing so many cool holiday photography things. Like we talked earlier about, that's something I really want to get into more about, learning about more about photography and working as a photographer. So don't miss tomorrow night, the 21st of February, for Jessica Rosa. Then a week from that night, oh man, Tuesday night, the 28th. Yes, we do. We have Eric and Moesha again. I tell you, they just rocked it out last year. I mean, it like one of their first years. It was their first year, I think, even the remainder of first year, and they were traveled all over. It was funny. I remember them calling me last year, going, "How do you get some sleep? We didn't realize it would be this busy." It was just hilarious, man. But they were so busy. I mean, so they've got so many incredible stories to tell us. Like I said, I still, that white outfit stuff that they wear just blows me away. That Santa suit is just so. Hopefully they'll show a picture of that again tomorrow night, because they have so many great stories to tell you about what they did last year, traveling just back and forth, and some really, really unique experiences. That's on the 28th. And then we got a little jump there. I got some friends that are coming. We're all friends in this business, of course. But on March 28th is Charlie Johnson. Charlie's comes from here in northern Michigan. Sorry, that's right. Most people don't know what that means. Charlie's from the northern Michigan area, and Charlie's been a Santa regular, traditional real bearded Santa for years. He does DJ work and he helps out at many of the schools too for the sound and everything else. And Charlie's got some great. He's got to talk about his commercials he does. When he talks, ask him about his submarine commercial. It's hilarious. I know, sounds hilarious, but it's a submarine commercial. You guys will love it. You'll get a kick out of it. Then in April already, we've got Ben. Ben's out there. Hey, Ben. Ben's is basically a new Santa too, and so many new Santas have got so many experiences, have such a great drive, and Ben's been in so many schools and everything else. He's good. You can't miss him. He looks great. He's got a great background of getting started. So don't miss Ben coming up, and he's from Columbus area, right, Ben? I hope you're from Columbus area, Columbus, Ohio area. People might not know where Ryan's Reynoldsburg,
Reynoldsburg, yeah.
Reynoldsburg is, but it's close to Columbus. But Ben has done a great job putting together, a lot of Santas in Ohio and everything else. A great group. So yeah, Ben, great. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to that. He's like Rex said the last week. So many great new Santas. Got so much to offer. And I know Ben is just looks good, great attitude, great. Will be a real good asset to listen to. So don't miss him. The next coming up in April, and of course, Bob's got so many other guys in between here and ladies to fill in the rest of the days. But those are some incredible Tuesday nights. But don't miss photography. I mean, that to me is the biggest where we can add so much to our holiday season besides upping our price is getting a photographer. So don't miss tomorrow night. And of course, the other guys, don't miss a Tuesday night. It's just because you remember the saying, I'm going to put a plug in for maps. We're better together. We're better together. So please join us.
Yeah, for sure. Let's start with the latter first, and I'll add a few talking points here real quick. With Ben, the thing I see with Ben is his work ethic. He has really came on the scene, hitting it hard, like you said, going to different learning opportunities. He just mentioned too down here in the comments that Spangle will be in the Columbus, Ohio area on February 28th. So there's another spot that Spangle will be. I believe Spangle's going to be out on the road for 4.5 weeks, something to that effect. So he's going to be out of pocket on the Tuesday night live show. Scott Sheraton will be filling in when available for Spangle for that show. Back to Ben though, and I love these little sayings that guys put on their Facebook pages, and the thing that jumped out about Ben, and I absolutely love this: never let the truth get in the way of a great story. It's a great line, Ben. I love that. All right, and of course, Ben has an interesting background before he became a Santa. His other professional career, and we'll get to learn a whole lot more about that when we get him on April 4th. Charlie Johnson, what can you say about Charlie? Charlie has so much to offer. Uh, as you mentioned, a member of MAPS, and Charlie's motto is "Enough about me. What about you?" Love that saying too. Those little catchphrases are always something that I look at. I don't know why. I'm always intrigued by those.
It
The
really
week,
tells a little bit about the person. It really does. It gives a quick glimpse of where a quick mindset is about the individual. So I think it's great. Really agree with you.
yeah, absolutely. So back up to February 28th, Eric and Moesha, they went to the Santa True workshop this last weekend, traveled over there from Killeen, Texas, and they were on their way back today when I had got a message from them earlier. They they're another young couple that, although they had been working semi-professional for some time, they didn't hit the social media scene until a year and a half ago or so, where they started stepping into the Santa community, and that that's something that takes a little bit of time, to get yourself set up in social media, but they have really hit the scene hard. And I apologize again, Randy. When I make these outlines up, I usually grab stuff and move it from one spot to another. And I know I had February 14th on there, and it was supposed to have been the
Oh,
21st. So I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Well,
I'm glad you caught that.
so wait a
So
minute. Wasn't that
anyway,
last week?
February 21st, Jessica Rosa, Holiday Photo Magic. Worked on the script last night for that show. It's going to be a great show. She's one of the people who has been doing Santa, Mrs. Claus photography for some time. Her background was with photography with children, so she works well with children. Many of us have gone up and done a session with her for our professional portfolios, me included, and it was a fantastic time. Enjoyed working with her. She always, believe me, you think I talk a lot? She always has a lot to say. So chime in tomorrow night and catch tomorrow night's show. All right. Are we ready to reveal that trivia answer?
I think so.
Go ahead, Randy.
All righty. The answer, guys, to the trivia question was, what was the coldest record temperature ever recorded in Michigan? And of course, we needed the time, the temperature, and the date. Not the time, but the date and the year. It is actually in Vanderbilt, Michigan, 51 below. Now, it wasn't wind chill. That was recorded 51 below temperature in Vanderbilt, Michigan on February 9th, 1934. Thank goodness that was before my time. But 1934 in Vanderbilt, Michigan, 51 degrees below zero. That's kind of like Minnesota temperature, isn't it? It's kind of like, wow.
Yeah,
I think we had a few different, I'm sure that'll have to be gone through to see who got all the answers there. But like I said, it just gives me the chills to think about it. But
that is definitely cold. And of course, anything below 0 to -20 is hazardous. Skin will freeze. The fluid in your skin will freeze. Frostbite will set in within minutes. So that was one of those days when you stayed inside next to the fire with a hot cup of cocoa back in 1934. And
that's all
this
you
last,
had.
go ahead. Just saying, this last cold snap that we had, there was some temperatures like that all across the northern sector of the United States. In the Dakotas and up in that direction through the Midwest. Just can't imagine. We barely gotten below 0 with our recorded lows in history here in the North Texas area. So can't imagine getting down into -51. That's crazy.
Well,
All right, and so our winner is still.
It's been Dollar.
Huh?
It's been.
All right, Ben Bellhorn. Today is your lucky day, brother.
Man.
You won. Got the trivia answer first. You will be receiving one of these right here. It'll be coming from Spangle. Tom sent us a bunch of these keys to send out, magic keys. And Spangle is doing the shipping on those since he set up the shipping easier than I am. So fantastic. Thank you, sir. All righty. Let's see here. Ben says, we just confirmed Spangle the Clown will be at Cracker Barrel on February 28th, and that's going to be at 6 p.m. For anyone who's in the Ohio area or will be traveling through there and would like to meet up with Ben, some of the Ohio guys, and Spangle and his 40-foot mobile trailer, stuffforsanta.com. The address is 1860 Winderly Lane. That's Winderly Lane, Pickerington. That's kind of a tongue twister. Pickerington, Ohio. Pickerington, Ohio.
Pickerington.
Yeah. Well,
And really, his truck it's just amazing. I mean, you walk in and it's just lined side by side, floor to ceiling, Santa goodies and Mrs. Claus goodies. I mean, it is kind of overwhelming once you walk in. Costumes here, stuff. Oh, it's just you can't miss it. I mean, you've got to see it to kind of believe it. You see a picture of on Facebook the truck with his logo on it. You think, oh, that's cool. But when you walk in, man, it kind of like, wow, it's very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah. Of course, they set up the inside of that trailer after me and Scott went over to Georgia to pick it up, drug it back. Daisy Mae was still with us at the time, and her and Spangle put a lot of time into putting those racks in there, going out and buying the tubs, getting everything sorted, organized, priced, and then in addition to that, he has that dually pickup truck. He loads the back end of that thing down with overstock, just in case he runs low on some of the things that the hotter items that he knows sells well. So,
It is a
all
traveling
righty,
store.
let's
It
see
is a
here.
traveling store. It's
Yes, fantastic. That was such a great idea that he came up with that because he was wearing himself out trying to go into conventions and things and moving all that stuff out of his smaller trailer and
Yeah.
setting it up, which he still does at the bigger events. But that mobile store has really made it a lot easier and actually better organized, I think, than sometimes, when you drag it all in, it's put together. It's not quite as presentable as it is inside that trailer, as you said, Randy.
oh, it's
Okay, are you ready? Let's drag out the shorts. You want to?
Hello again, everybody. It's Santa Shorts. Just that brief peek into the world of Santa. I just first want to say, I didn't say earlier, I can't believe it's only 308 days till Christmas. 308 days. I didn't say it earlier, but I got to make sure I get that in because it just kind of shocked me to think that it's that close. But I just want to take a second, and of course I've been talking about last few weeks about doing Santa's magical moments coming up, and I guess that's part of the thing that I want to talk about is let you think about, and it's kind of food for thought, is how magical Santa really is. Now, Santa really, if you think about it, is the most magical character ever. I mean, what can't Santa do? He can fly around the world in one night. He really talks to his reindeer. He understands them. He knows if you're naughty or nice. He can go up and down a chimney with a knot, just a knot of his nose, finger side of his nose. He'll go up the chimney. And so there's so many things that he is so magical. So just I would like you guys to think about is how can we take that part of Santa being magical and bring that into our real life of Santa and not just the story of him. We know he does all those things, but how can we take those things, how magical Santa is, and portray that or do that during our live performances? There's so many things that you can do during, even if you're a mall or a big box store Santa. There's so many little magical things. Now, I know Santa is not a magician. I'm going to make it very clear. I know I do magic for a living also, but he's not a magician. But like I said, he's the most magical character you can imagine. So we have to somehow take the concept of magic and turn it into what Santa can do without looking like he's doing magic. Because that's just who he is. How do we know, like I said, how does Santa know if you've been naughty or nice? How does he know when you're sleeping? There's so many things we can do to keep that thought process, that magical thought process shown when we do a live event. And starting March 6th, I'm going to start showing some magical ideas, magical concepts that we all can do, so we, as Santa or Mrs. Claus, of course, can look more magical. Not, even though we look fantastic and Santa's got the great suits and the wonderful smiles and that twinkle in your eye, which is always just the basic part about being magical. Because if you don't have that smile, don't have that twinkle in your eye, or don't have that heart that just children feel the warmth, regardless what kind of magic or storytelling or music or whatever you do, doesn't mean anything anyway. So, but I'm going to start in March 6th. We're going to have a little fun showing a few magical concepts and a few ideas that we can take our live version of Santa and make it a little bit more magical to take that belief a little further to those age groups. We all know about the thumb tips. We all know about things like that, and which we'll talk about those too. But there's some of the things that you can make very easily at home that really can add a just a fun twist. I mean, I know Bob talked earlier about storytelling and how to the inflection in your voice, and that can be just as magical as doing a prop. Is how you because if you talk very humdrum, you talk very slow, soft. It's not as good as if you don't bring that magic alive in your voice and if your look and your actions. So there's so many things to talk about magical moments coming up. So it's kind of food for thought since the last few weeks we've talked about food. Last week I talked about food and taking care of yourself body wise and eating the right protein and eating the right meals and getting out and walking and make sure you hydrate and everything else. We talked about that. And of course, 2 weeks ago, we talked about 3 weeks ago, I think it's been now, it's been about, the mental state about after you go from a high to a low as Santa and what we can do to keep that going. Now we can keep the magic alive as Santa and make that belief. And if we can keep that belief going a little longer in that certain age group, we know the little ones are always just giggly and just can't wait to see Santa. But if we can suspend that belief a little longer in that next age group, or if we can take that parent or grandparent and for that few moments when they see that magic happens that Santa can do, that they revert back to when they were a child. If we can give that gift to them, we have done everything magical possible if we can do that too. So thank you again, guys. It's been so much fun, Santa Shorts. We got one more week on Santa Shorts, and then we're going to make a few little changes. But thank you, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.
That's right, Randy. You hit it out of the ballpark again on that. And as he just said, some changes coming. He's got a new segment he's going to replace Santa Shorts with, and looking forward to that. You know, guys, I mean, there's so much out there that we can tools in a tool bag, as you might want to say, that we can use and we can expand on. Always look to up your game. Always look to improve yourself, and always look to be the best you can be for those families that you're serving, the children that you serve. Okay, so there is a couple of comments down here real quick I want to catch. Ben talking back about Spangle being there in Ohio. He says for everyone that's across the street from where they are hosting Santa Tim Conahan's class in March. Again, Tim's coming to the Ohio area to put on one of his classes. If you've never been, you've got to get out and take Tim's class. The first, the original, as far as the traveling schools, and what a great class, and no better person to learn from than Santa Tim. Charlie Johnson says he's been listening but was driving, so that's why he hasn't had a chance to type too much. He's got to keep his hands and eyes on the wheel and the road there. Okay, moving on. Let's go ahead and move on to Santa's Magic Bag. Staying with Randy's theme of magic and the theme of what can we do to improve ourselves season in, season out, different things that we can expand on as we grow in this community. I want to talk about QR codes. I know some of you have dabbled a little bit into the QR codes, and some folks may not even know what a QR code is, although they're on TV and social media. You see them quite often now. More and more folks are using those. They have caught on. A QR code is a type of matrix barcode invented in 1994 by a Japanese company called Denso Wave. A barcode is a machine readable optical label that can contain information about the item to which it is attached. So my observation here is that it is a great new tool for our industry. The Tuesday Night Live show has a barcode. When folks want to join the Tuesday Night Live show or figure out a way to watch these shows on Tuesday Night Live, the barcode is simple, easy. Take a photo of it, put it in your phone, takes you straight to the source you want it to go to. In this case, the Tuesday Night Live group page. Uh, you know, speaking of new tools for our industry, simple business cards with a professional headshot and minimal amount of info, which is really clean, professional looking. I know I'm guilty of my first business cards. I tried to list everything on there, including the kitchen sink, and it was just jumbled too much, too overcrowded. Uh, the amount of info being the most important, and of course, you can always put that full photo of you in character on the back, and maybe 2/3 of the back of it, and a barcode at the bottom, or you can always work that barcode into the front of your business card. The QR code, of course, includes and once scanned will carry you to potential or existing clients to your website that should be attached for the QR to land on with all the necessary information. So what I'm trying to say is keep your information on your business cards minimal. Just put on there what you need with that barcode. If you have a website, fantastic. That's where you want it to land. If not, you could always have it land to your Facebook or any other social media platform that you want to send it to. But the website is where, uh, okay, so let's put it this way. Your business card is your billboard on the side of the highway. Folks will see that, they will look at that, and then if they hit that barcode, then that will take them to your actual store or your landing spot, your business, where you're trying to sell your goods, your wares, whatever you may have yourself. So remember, QR codes can be customized also with your Santa or business name added to the outside. It's one thing, as long as you don't change the actual footprint of the barcode itself, you can add to the outer edges around it. You make a circle around it, add stuff to it. But it's a good idea to put your business name on there or your website business name if you want to, for that to also be visible when they are scanning. That way they can see what they're scanning. All right, so that's Santa's Magic Bag for today, Monday, of course, February 20th, 2023. We love doing these segments. They always seem to, add so much more to what we're doing here, and we're glad to bring them to you.
Bob, I have to say you are so right. This was a business, you can't really see it. This is a business card I first did years ago. Look at all the stuff on there. I mean, it's just too much. I mean, just crazy. So then I did this. I have my logo on one side and my barcode on the other side.
Absolutely.
And actually, this is actually a dot card is what this is. So this, whoops, now I lost my QR code. That QR code will take them to my website, to my Facebook page, to my PayPal. I mean, all that information is put on that. But a QR code is so. Let me, wherever I dropped it, there we go.
It's just so simple.
Easy, so simple. It just, then I just had cards made the same way, just my logo and the QR code. And it's just because, like you said, Bob, that gets so confusing. I mean, they're just too, sure, it looks pretty. You've got colors, you've got this, you've got that. But wow, I totally, I think they went out of style a few years ago, but they really, I think they came back very strong. I mean, the way with people's smartphones now to use the QR code, they're inexpensive to get. I totally agree. It's an easy thing to do. It really is. I think it's. I definitely recommend them here. Because a lot of times, also, I don't know how many people, unless you keep a good container for your business cards, they get all crinkled up in there. I've got some cards in the file here. Well, the corners don't look good. You don't want to pass them out. This will always stay clean. Your QR code will always be perfect, So I totally agree with you, Bob. I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I recommend it to a lot of people. Like you said, there isn't a show that you don't go on if you want to check the weather on your news thing. They got that, or you want to download something. I think it's a great idea.
It's become a great tool all across the board for everyone, not just in our community,
Yeah.
or business, but everybody's using them now. And again, the original business cards that we first designed, that was what the norm was then. Put all the information you can on there, hand it out to a potential client, hope that they read what you got on there and hang on to it, contact you at a future date, for a gig. But simple is more better now. Simple is cleaner. Like you said, it's simple to read. Now, back to the QR codes. A QR code generator can make you a QR code within minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
it's and I think there's even some free ones out there if I remember correct in my research in the past. And some may charge a small fee, but it's not much if anything. But they have really become the norm in 2022, 2023, and so use that to your advantage. All right, let's pick up
It is the way of the future. Do it.
Yeah, let's pick up some of what we got going over here in the comment section. Let's see. Ben says he's finally on the PC and can type. He says QR codes. Excuse me, Ben. Charlie. QR codes are great on your phone and on business cards. That's correct. You can add an image to the center of the QR code. That's what I was talking about with the print. As long as you don't alter the bars themselves, the original design of the little boxes, the way they lay out. Because a lot of people will put their picture right in the center, or even a business name or a logo, whatever you want, right in the center of that. There's a small circle in the center that you can use for that opportunity to do that with. Nice sample card, Randy, Charlie says. And if you are on a website, right click and select generate QR code. There you go. Charlie's telling you how to do it. Fantastic. Ben says the argument against using business cards is the best argument for having them. Someone told me that someone will stick your card in their pocket and then go home, pull it out, look at it, and throw it away. They looked at it twice. Well, that's true, and of course you got Tim coming, Ben. And one of the things that Tim talks about in class is that if you're not passing out 1,000 business cards a year, you're not doing yourself and your business, your Santa business, justice in promoting it as well as you could. He's a big believer in business cards, always has been. And he also mentions in class that what he found out through the years of being Santa and passing out cards is someone walks up and hands you a tree trimming or a lawn service card. You probably find the first trash can you can to throw that away and or just throw it on the ground if you're a litter bug. Santa cards, though, they kind of like, wow, that's unique, it's different. They may hang on to it, like you say, take it home, look at it again before getting rid of it, or as in many of us Santas, we collect our brothers and sisters' business cards. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many I have from everyone. Uh, I encourage when you come to the Set Bob School, and I'm not sure if Gordon done this when he was up there in Ohio with you guys, but I encourage guys to give me their business cards, and I pass out my business cards, and I have a number of them from the first one I had up to my newest ones. And those are some of the examples, as Randy just did, showing you how your business card can evolve over time and how you can simplify it. So fantastic point there.
Also, just to let you know, like Bob made a comment about giving out 1,000. Let's say that's what you should do. I mean, just pass them out. So let's say your return is 3%. Doesn't sound like much, 3%, but think 3% of 1,000 clients. That's 30 events.
30 events.
So I mean, it really is a good return. I mean, it still is something we have to do, or even postcards. I love giving out postcards. That's because they're a little bigger. They don't throw them out quite as quick. But the only problem with postcards is they don't keep them in. They're not as, some people don't put them in certain areas because they don't have a Rolodex or whatever you want to call it for postcards. But yeah, think about it. If we do 2%, 3% return is all you're going to get, you still increased your 2023, 2024 like crazy by giving them out. So they're a necessity, but put that QR code on there too. I mean, even on a regular business card.
Just remember that small percentage adds up.
Yeah.
Like pennies and dimes and nickels add up. But most of all, that could be money that you generate off your business card that will put you over the top where your business is actually far in the plus side to use that extra money to upgrade your costuming and or your schooling with. Those are ways to finance your business, extra income. Charlie says the business cards I collect go in my contacts, so I always have the information with me on my phone. That's a great point. Was thinking there was something else I wanted to see there. I don't see it. Okay, I guess we covered it all. But so true. QR codes are the new way of doing business, and again, pass those cards out. I mean, cards cost a little bit of money. I mean, I know for some time I don't know what Spangle's price is now because the last time I bought like 6,000 cards from him, like 5 or 6 different designs, and I've still got cards left in each one of those. But I think I got most of those $1,000, $40 for 1,000, $35 for 1,000, something in that
That's
range.
cheap.
I
That's
know
cheap. You
Vista
think about
Print and Prints Made Easy is comparable to that price, if not cheaper.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a cheap way, a cheap investment to get a return on your investment there.
I mean, you have your picture, your information, you have all that stuff on there. And most of us Santas don't really change that much. Our facial features or maybe our costume might, our suits might change a little. But so you can use it if you do buy, if you do get a great deal, I'll buy 2,000 or some 2,500 because you get a great deal on them. You're going to look the same, really pretty much the same for the next couple of years. So
Yes, for sure. And don't be scared to pass them out, pass them things out. Just remember, guys, while we're talking about business cards, I think this is important to bring up. You should have a children's card or two and an adult card or two, depending on what message you're trying to get across, corporate, private sector, whatever. But I think many of us in the beginning made that mistake of having just one card, and you always want to hand it to the adult, but a lot of times the children want to see it. They would end up with that card. Then you get that 3 a.m. giggle phone call. So it's important to try to make sure you have a children's card that does not have your telephone number on there. I have a couple of great cards that I use through the years have worked really well for me, and I'll always ask the parents first. Would you, mind me giving you a business card for my child and one for your child and one for yourself? That way, you're not imposing or just walking up to a child trying to give your card away. That's kind of creepy. So make sure you approach folks the right way. Hello.com. Let's create an electronic QR code to pass from phone to phone with same info. There you go. Another great point, Rex. That's towards what Charlie was saying about putting those contacts in your phone. There you go with the QR code to pass from phone to phone.
Yep. Go to
And that's
hello.com.
another new technology where you can just tap telephones together and share information, and or I've even seen where now you can just these little battery packs that you can buy to do away with the generator. Well, it doesn't do away with the generator, but to replace a lot of what you used to do with a generator. And you just set your phone on top of it and it charges it without ever plugging it in. Some of the technology that's out there is crazy. All right, we got any other questions for today's show? Anything you want to talk about? If you do, put them in the bar. We got a moment. You got our ear. And we got some great folks on the other end here that can help. Yeah, hey, I need to do that. Got some great folks on the other end here that has been putting in a lot of good input today that can always help. Charlie says, great show today. Well, thank you, Charlie. It's, you can sit up here and blabber on all day long and share information, but unless there's someone out there to catch that, someone that can use it, someone that it can refresh a memory in their mind, and on the other hand, looking at it the other way, without you guys' input, we don't know what we're doing. I mean, we don't know if you're receiving what we're giving you, if you're happy with what we're doing. We love input, good, bad, or indifferent. I tell folks at my Santa class when I end it each year, hey, give me something. Just tell me good, bad, or indifferent. I'll take it all and run with it. So fantastic. Thank you for the input. And I want to mention last week's show with Rex. Oh my gosh. Man, I have gotten so many great private messages, text on my phone about what a fantastic show that was, what a fantastic guest Rex was. We knew we wanted him for our first show on a Tuesday Night Live last week. Man, he knocked it out of the ballpark as he always does. And he he had written me on Wednesday and said he'd been out working there on his property most of the day and went in for supper and realized he had a ton of text and messages. Spent 3 hours on the horn with folks answering questions, talking to folks. Ben, I think, was one of them. So fantastic, guys. Again, that's why we do this. We want to expose everyone to what everyone has to offer. Rex is one of those treasure troves, as well as Gordon Bailey. If you can deal with Gordon, he has a lot to offer, and that's what we love about what we got going on. Me and Randy may not be the most knowledgeable, but we've always got folks we can reach out to, and if we can't get you an answer right now, we'll get you an answer somewhere down the line really quick.
Be glad to.
All right, anything else, Randy, you want to add?
No, it's what a great time tonight. Again, thank you guys always for so wonderful input. I mean, really, that's just if you can do it like we talked about last week, tell your friends, invite them to the Monday afternoon show. Have them sign up for the website for our YouTube channel. With more and more we can get, the better and better that'll all be. The more and more we get, so just click the little invite in the corner on your thing so they can come to this show. And like Bob says, we always get more viewers after, but we just thank you so much for being a part of the show, guys. Everybody, your comments, your connection is priceless, really is. And like Bob said, yays or nays, that's the only way we can grow and do better on the show is your guys' input and what you like and don't like and what you want. So we're looking forward to a phenomenal year this year. Going to be a lot of fun. So thank you again, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, like I always say, most of all, stay magical, everybody. I'll see you soon. It's yours, Bob.
That's
Thank you
right.
again, Bob, Angela.
And again, real quick, Charlie says hello.com is on pause according to its website. So keep that in mind. Go over and visit it later. Maybe it'll be back up. Back to the business card QR codes. Remember, your business card is your billboard on the side of the highway. Somebody driving by, they see that, and then they want to visit your store. Your store is where that QR code will land. Be sure and put good information there, everything that you want to get out there. That way they can get in touch with you. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming in and joining today with us. Again, as Randy mentioned, if you can, give us a like, subscribe. Something that has really taken off for 2023 already, and the handful of shows that we've done on, I guess, the few that we've done here and the Tuesday night show last week, we've gotten hundreds and hundreds of hits, both between YouTube and Facebook, and we want to let everyone know we appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much for coming in on Monday. Check us out tomorrow night, where our guest will be Jessica Rosa, the renowned photographer there in the Springfield, Missouri area. Stay safe, stay warm. Hey, like I said, I think winter's going to make a comeback here pretty quick. So, as Rex Ray might say, keep your milk cold and your cookies warm. And I love it. I'm even going to use it tomorrow night in the opening of the show. Thanks, Rex. Thank everybody. Charlie, Ben, all those who joined in today. See you next time.
Ethan Allen, everybody, thank you. Bye-bye.